We've got a little bit of swell to contend with today, but make sure you sit back because I think it's going to be another really, really entertaining episode. And actually, it's going to be an entertaining episode. Look at that. The first cast of the day. And we are on. So stick around, guys, because what we are going to do is we're going to run through all of those techniques, really everything. So as I said, really covering all your gear choices, really covering how to use that gear, and also really covering where to spend your time to make sure that you're getting into the strike zone and catching plenty. And that's not a bad start because we are literally about 30 seconds into today's video, and that's what it's all about. And I think I'm going to be catching plenty, and I'm going to show you lots of techniques to do that. Let's get started right now. There are birds now that are going absolutely crazy, pretty much right at the shore. So I'm talking like 20, 30 meters away from the edge of the beach. And this one's gone on a big run. This is a nice fish. There we go, got him. Wow. So we're definitely gonna run through a lot of tips and techniques on how to catch these fish shortly, guys. So if you're new to this and you want to start learning how to use soft plastics, how to use them effectively, then you really do need to have the right gear. Now, for this sort of fishing, obviously salmon is our targeted species today, Australian salmon. So you need to have a rod and reel that's going to be capable of catching those fish. And really what you want to be using is a light spin rod like this. It's a 2 to 4 kilo rod. That rod is 7 foot in length. I've got that pair with a 2500 size reel. I've got 15-pound braid. That is attached to one rod length of fluorocarbon leader, and they are tied together using a double uni knot. You could use an FG knot if you've got the time. And then from there, what I've got is a range of jig heads from 1/4 all the way through to 1/12, 2/0 and 3/0. And then I've got a range of soft plastics, 2.5 inch, 3 inch and 4 inch, combination of curl tails, paddle tails, and worm imitations. Now what I have done with the braid is I've spent a little bit more, and I've got something that is a really, really high class. And what happens by that is it means that the line's a little bit thinner yet stronger. So this line here is really, really thin in diameter, but really capable of catching a big fish. Technique, a lot of it is going to be about finding the fish. And that's where you've got to use your marine electronics. And you've got to be really vigilant about what's happening around you. Looking for birds that are busting up in the area, looking for bubbling water, looking for your sounder for just massive patches of fish, because salmon will school up in just crazy volume of numbers. Get yourself into the area where those fish are busting up, where the birds are going crazy, and that's when you want to cast. So at the moment I've got rigged on a Munro's 2.75 inch paddle tail, and what you find is anything that's got a really nice natural color. So these fish, they are just absolutely ravenous. They are feeding on bait fish, and what you're trying to do is match the hatch. There we go, we're on straight away, right? So this is a small soft plastic that basically mimics a bait fish. And what you're going to find is these salmon, when they're congregating in big numbers, they will just absolutely annihilate anything that's got a really nice natural presentation. And again, anything that's, as I said, 2.75 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, paddle tail and curl tail is going to work really, really well. Now, when that school is absolutely firing, I reckon you can catch them on just about anything. So don't get too picky. The key is you really want to take a range of different jig heads. Sorry guys, we're just going to come around this way because this fish has just woken up. You really want to have a range of jig heads. So I like to take out a 1/4 of an ounce, a 1/6 of an ounce, an 1/8 of an ounce, and a 1/12 of an ounce. And generally that'll be on a 2/0 size jig head and a 3/0 size jig head. And then, as I said, what you're going to do is you're going to match that soft plastic to the jig head selection. And a lot of that's going to be based on where you're fishing. So how deep you're fishing, what the current is like, all those sort of things. So this is a nice fish here. So let's see if I can pull this one up. There we go, we've got him there. These salmon are absolutely everywhere. They're going crazy. My rod's just tangled up. So you can see there's that 2.75 inch paddle tail. So we're fishing here in really shallow water today because these fish are in really, really close. All right, so the best thing to do is definitely take yourself a range of jig heads and a range of soft plastics. So when I'm out here, I'm gonna have 2.5 inch plastics, I'm gonna have 3 inch plastics, and I'm gonna have 4 inch plastics. Worm imitations, here we go, paddle tails, curl tails. and a range of different colors. So I really like to have those natural bait colors because I think that's obviously what the fish are feeding on, and you want to match the hatch. And then obviously some bright colors, because you're going to be fishing in all sorts of different types of water clarity. You're going to have your really clear water days, and then you're going to have your days. Today, that water clarity is really, really murky. So, whoa, that fish has jumped, he's jumped. So, he's gone crazy. Just give yourself a really good, nice selection. So this is the tackle box that I bring out with me. So this is absolutely jam-packed with jig heads. So you can see there is lots and lots of jig heads. So I've got half an ounce, quarter of an ounce, sixth of an ounce, eighth of an ounce, and 1/12 of an ounce. And the whole idea is I can just chop and change like crazy when I'm out on the water. And at the moment, what I am using is a 1/8. So that's why I was just starting to get up a little bit, guys. So, but what I'm using at the moment is a 1/8, and that is a 2/0. Now make sure your lines and your knots and your leaders are all really strong, because these are powerful fish. So it's lots of fun. Get amongst the action, do the right thing, set up correctly. And I guarantee if you can do those things, you're going to be having days on the water just like this. Ah. Oh, really?
A lot of trouble. This guy's practicing. Because I'll keep drifting there.
There we go. Oh, this doesn't feel big, this one. Oh, yes it is. There we go. We are on again. That was a bit of a, whoa, that's a good size one. That's a bit of a medium retrieve, that one. So, but yeah, you're gonna have days where you just cast it out, and you'll find as soon as that soft plastic hits the water, it will just be a case of burning it back in, and they will chase them down. And you'll have other days where you need to be a little bit more delicate in your approach and just work it back nice and slowly. So every day you come out, it's a little bit different. But you know what? Mix up the technique, mix up the choice of soft plastics and jig heads, and fish like that are for the taking. Now with soft plastics, take your time to rig them on straightly. So even if the bite is going absolutely crazy, it doesn't matter. Those fish are going to still be there, okay? So just take your time, get it rigged on straight, get it rigged on carefully, because it does impact the swimming action. And what you really want to do is you want to maximize, if you're using a paddle tail or something, you really want to maximize that swimming action, okay? So take your time, get it rigged on straight, and then what you can do is you can get back into the game nice and quickly. So obviously right now what I'm doing is I'm just matching bait fish. So I've gone for a motor oil, small paddle tail. That's going to do the job really, really nicely. Get hits already straight over. Oh, he's come off. I was on. He's still going. Here we go. Now got him. So that's what works really well. So again, a bit of that match that hatch theory, that we want to imitate the bait fish that are in here. And a small paddle tail is going to do that really well. Now my mate's heading towards the rocks here, so I might have to do a bit of a rescue mission before catching another one. All right, so. Oh my God, I'm trying to lose this fish. So there we go, so there is another one. 2.75 inch paddle tail, so we'll get that out. Here we go, so here we go, we're on again. All right, so the fishing is just nuts, guys. At the moment, it's just a fisher cast, chop and changing different soft plastics. They're just taking everything. And again, that key is really about finding the school by using your visuals, finding the school by using your marine electronics, and then using the right gear, using the right jig heads and all that sort of stuff, and just enjoying the battle, because this is amazing stuff. Now the swell's really starting to get up here, so I'm just gonna have to be a tad careful here. So there's another fish. Lost count of how many fish we've caught, so we're starting to release a lot of them. It's really now about just having fun on the catch and really just walking through some technique. These moments on the water are just so good. And as I said, just with that technique, if they are around, you're in the shallows, you should be able to just do that sort of bouncing, whippy kind of technique with your rod tip, and then you're going to find is you will get bites. Here we go. So there we go. Ah, what a day. What a day. So this has been the most insane or consecutive sessions of fishing. It's just, the volume of fish is just crazy. And they're in an aggressive mood. They're taking everything at the moment. So, and what's really awesome is they're enclosed. So we've actually got guys fishing off the rock wall there, and they're just casting out your long casting metal jigs, and they're getting into the action as well. So it's certainly not just for kayakers and for those with boats and jet skis. And they're a really good sized fish, guys. They really, really are. There we go. So there's another. Catching them now. Different types of plastics, different retrieval techniques. That swell is really, really getting up now, but it's not going to put us off because we're having lots of fun. We are getting a lot of water that's coming over the top of the kayak. So one of the things that we spend a lot of time talking about to angling clubs and people in general that are into kayak fishing is there is a really big difference between your entry-level kayaks and I guess your high-end kayaks. And one of the biggest things is the self-draining. So these Hobies here, when you do take water that comes over the front part, there we go, hit then. When you do take water that comes over the front, what it is a self-draining hull, and that water basically flushes itself out straight away. Some of your lower end kayaks have scupper plugs, and what happens is when you do take on water, what you've got to do every now and again is stop and basically take those plugs out. It's a little bit like a bathtub where you're draining the water out, and it can fill up really, really quickly. So little things like that can make a massive difference. So if you are really interested in kayak fishing, or you're sort of shopping around at the moment, here we go, got one on. Just, you know, little things like that to take care of. Obviously size, stability, features, accessories, but self-draining is something definitely not to overlook. It's really, really important. And we got another fish on here. It's amazing the size of these fish in the shallows, how close they come in. And obviously they're just following the bait fish, but oh man, they're a powerful, powerful pelagic fish, these salmon. And it's only more fun when you're using this type of gear. Use your 2 to 4 kilo rods and your smaller spin reels. I think when you go too heavy, you actually take the fun and the sports element of away. Oh, geez, oh no, oh my God, I almost dropped my whole rod and reel in the drink then. That would have been an absolute disaster. You would have seen a grown man cry there because losing that Shimano Stella, yeah, I'd be crying. Oh, look at that. The fish are just insane. So there's another one. It'll jump too when it sees you.
That's a baby compared.
That is a small one actually, but mate, we're fishing in 1.2 meters deep. Look at this swell, hey? Oh shit. Alright, bite then. Yeah, we'll come up and up. There we go. Come on, take it. He's had about 6 goes at it. I got him. Oh. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, Tanner.
Oh, that's a big one.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. Angry Australian salmon, and that soft plastic is absolutely engulfed. How's that for natural bait presentation? That looks amazing. Going a little bit bigger now. So I've got a 4-inch paddle tail on now. And it's just crazy how close we are in. We're in 1.3 meters deep. And you certainly wouldn't want to be fishing here on low tide because you'd be hitting all the rocks. So when you see salmon and they're busting up, typically what you're going to do is you're going to cast towards the school and you're going to work your soft plastic back at a fast and medium retrieve. But you'd also get days like today where the fish are being a little bit finicky, and there's another one, so another really good sized fish. So you do get days like today where those salmon are being really finicky, where you have to just work your soft plastic a little bit slower. So that's not as big, that one. Here's a little bit smaller. Now this swell is starting to get up here, guys, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm just gonna cut that motor. And then what we're gonna do, exactly as I said, so you're gonna open your bail arm and you're gonna cast. Now when that soft plastic hits the water, which it has now, you close your bail arm, and typically at this point what you're gonna do is just a fast to medium retrieve like this, and you're going to just add a little bit of action into that paddle tail. I find that really helps, right? Now, on days like today, they've been really, really weird. You may have to work it a little bit slower. So what we might do right now is we're gonna cast that to hit the water, and this time what we're gonna do is we're just gonna work it a little bit slower. So we just let it sink. We're gonna do some of those little lifts and hops, and then we're gonna stop. And then we're gonna do a few more of those lifts and hops, and what you should find is we should get a hit shortly. There we go, getting a nibble now. There we go, got him, got him. Oh. The power on these fish are ridiculous. All right, so another technique that really works well is trolling. So if you're on a kayak and you've got foot pedals, or you've got an electric trolling motor, or if you're on a tinny or a small runabout boat, all you need to do basically is grab your soft plastic. You can use things like metal slugs, you can use shallow diving, hard body lures, and all you're gonna do is basically just cast that to the back of you, and all you're gonna do is then close the bail arm once you've let a little bit of line out and just work that. Now what you're gonna find is a lot of these salmon are obviously pelagic type of fish. They love chasing bait down, and this technique works really, really well. It's also a really good way to find fish. So if you've caught a couple and then you've lost them, this technique of just moving up and down with a soft plastic or a lure or something in the water can be a really, really good way of trying to locate where that school is again. And you'll be surprised, you'll catch a lot this way. Oh my God, whoa, whoa, that chased that down big time. That really wanted that one. Whoa. Whoa, this one feels big. There you go, so there is another. This is crazy. And that soft plastic is down there somewhere. All right, so now I'm putting on one of these Kayak 4-inch easy shiners. If you want something that matches the bait presentation so well, these things look absolutely dynamite. So they're not the most durable soft plastics. You talk about match the hatch. In terms of bait fish, that is crazy, crazy good bait presentation. So all we're gonna do is just take our time, rig that up nice and straight, and you're gonna find the salmon are going to go absolutely bananas over soft plastics with a beautiful natural presentation like that. Oh, all right. Oh, on the trawl. All right, so there's another. I could kick a footy to the beach. We're 40 metres. I reckon that plastic might be annihilated because he had about 5 or 6 goes at it. So I'll check him in a second. Oh, here we go. I'm on. I think. Oh. This is nuts, mate. That's a big one. There we go. Look at this, man. Oh, and that was just trawling. There you go, guys. Look at that on that natural bait presentation. 4-inch paddle tail that replicates the bait fish so well, and the volume of fish is absolutely crazy. My hands are... Oh, wait a sec, I'm on. Oh yeah, hold on. I'm on. Oh, this is insane. This is insane. Oh, he's left. That's a big one. Oh man, that's bigger than the other one. And he's been... There you go. There's another one, guys. So the action is ridiculous. We've caught so many fish now, we're losing count. I'm just loving that catch, and all we're doing now is we're getting these fish and just setting them on their way, because it's just so much fun. It's not about the catch, it's just about enjoying yourself while we're out here. We're literally putting the soft plastic in the water for 30 seconds, moving on. It's just... Now in terms of rod selection, so all I'm using today is, I've got a 7-foot, this is a 2 to 4 kilo rod. So this is one of the Shimano T-Curve Premiums. Honestly, when you're doing this sort of fishing, whether you're targeting pinkies, salmon, flathead, whiting, that sort of stuff, 2 to 4 kilo is a really, really good class. You can bump that up to 2 to 5 kilo if you want to, and that's going to give you a little bit more pulling power. If you really wanted a challenge, you could drop that down to 1 to 3 kilo. Oh, he's on. Oh, I can't get over this. This is just absolutely bonkers. Some of the mental battles and the struggles that you go with as an angler when you spend a lot of time on the water, especially during the colder months. Oh, wow. Oh. So this year, in winter and spring, the fishing was really tough. This fish is going bananas. And, you know, you do it really tough out there, and then you have days like this where you can catch fish blindfolded, you can catch fish casting behind your head. Like, it's just crazy. And you really do appreciate days like this on the water, especially when the fish are all this sort of size. Oh, this one's a good one. He's jumping out the water like crazy. Got him. So, and you can see how shallow we are. We've got just that little rock wall behind us. This is a good one. Look at this. Look at these fish. They're getting bigger. They are getting absolutely bigger. That is a crazy, crazy good fish. The fishing is quite literally off its head. It is ridiculous. So I don't quite have the words to just say how good it is. Now, your bag limit for salmon is 20 per person, and you know, you can be someone who does catch and release, you can be someone who takes 20 home to eat, you can be someone who takes 20 home to use them as bait. So I love catching them, full stop. That's probably the number one thing, but stay within your limits. A minimum legal size is 21 centimeters. To be honest, today the smallest one we're going to be catching is probably going to be mid 40s, but it is just lots and lots of fun. So as I said, whether you're someone who likes to just come out and catch fish because you just really enjoy the hunt and the fight, which is like me, and obviously using very, very light spin gear like this, it's a 2 to 4 kilo rod, or whether you're someone that really enjoys eating salmon, or whether you're someone that likes stucking up on bait run because, you know, you really want to go out there and catch snapper and gummy sharks. Whatever it is, there is nothing wrong with this style of fishing. It is absolutely amazing, and there's nothing better when you can hit your local inshore waters and you're catching fish after fish after fish that fight really well, put on a bit of an aerial display, give you a bit of a fight. Well, there you have it, guys. What an absolutely crazy session. Relentless those salmon were. They were ravenous on soft plus. What a day out in the water. I hope that you've enjoyed the episode. We've sure enjoyed filming it. Take care. We'll see you soon.